Hi, I'm Lisa Natoli. Thank you so much for joining me. And for this week, I'm going to talk about healing, sickness, disease, and health. And I teach A Course in Miracles, and I help people to heal and cure themselves. And often it's things that they've been unable to cure from doctors. And A Course in Miracles has a particular way of describing how healing is accomplished. And it's literally that you notice your false beliefs and you have a willingness to shift your thinking. And so it's incredible because there's so many simple ideas in A Course in Miracles, and yet many people have read the ideas, they've thought about them, they've studied them, they've talked about them, and they're still experiencing problems, sickness, limitation. And so why is that? And to me, it's always in the application and the use of the ideas. Like, are you really looking at what lies under your conscious thinking? Like, are you aware of your beliefs about yourself? So Jesus is the author of A Course in Miracles, and he says to heal is to make happy. And I want us to look at that sentence today because I think a lot of people really think that means other people. To heal is to make happy. So you're out there trying to make other people happy, but are you making yourself happy? Do you love yourself? And what Jesus says in A Course in Miracles, which is a way to train your mind to a new way of seeing, is you do not love yourself. And so that's a place of honesty where you can really recognize, I don't love myself. And today I'm going to give you some questions that you can begin to find out where your location is, what is your state of mind. So my method of healing and curing is different from other people. And if you look at different teachers and different ways so that people really help others, it's always different. Some people work with angels, some people work with energy, some people use touch. Some people can feel what another person is feeling. Some people do Reiki, some people just really see the truth for another. And what I do is I get people talking. I get people to just begin to describe whatever the story or the difficulty is so that I can find out what their location is. Now, the location only means the place where you've located yourself in that moment, and I can tell where you think you are based on what you're saying, based on your words. And from that point, healing is nothing more than to get you to look at the thoughts that you're thinking and be willing to move to a state of mind. That's it. And so what I'm going to ask you is I'm going to ask for you to think about what are your thoughts about yourself. And be honest. No one's going to know this. But what are your true thoughts about yourself? And that's the first question I want you to really consider. And for most people, it's self-hatred, it's just guilt, and just feeling I'm not good enough, feeling like you want to be loved, just feeling you don't have enough, you're not just doing things correctly. What are your thoughts about yourself? And the second question is, what is your state of mind? And that's similar to the first question. And most people, it's a state of mind of fear. And what Jesus says is that all healing is a release from fear. And we've been taught as humans that fear is normal. Fear is not normal. It is not your state that God created. And one of the things that I say is that disease equals disturbance. So if you are experiencing a disease, it means that at some point in time, there was a disturbance in you when you stopped being a child of God. And, you know, it's stated so simply in A Course in Miracles is that sickness is a belief in separation. That we have forgotten who we are, and we think we're separate from God, we are separate from others, and we even separate ourselves from ourselves. There's this total disconnect where we're not even paying attention to the light that we are, the love that we are, the spirit that we are. There's a disconnect there. That's a disturbance. And so you become aware of the disturbance. I also say that problems equals patterns. So if there's a problem in your life, it means that there's a pattern going on in your thinking. So this work becomes very simple, that you have a willingness now to discover what the disturbance is, what the pattern is, and you have a willingness to do something about it. And so the way that you dissolve the disturbance and the pattern is to really just allow yourself to remember the truth. And what A Course in Miracles says is that sickness is external searching, health is inner peace. Sickness is external searching, health is inner peace. And so you get to this point when you're willing to take responsibility for whatever is happening to you. I know a lot of people will hear these ideas and they make themselves guilty for them. They think, I caused my sickness, I'm responsible for what I see, and then they beat themselves up more. So healing now is a way where you start to love yourself. You start to become a child of God again. To heal is to make happy. What makes you happy? Start doing more of those things. Like really start getting yourself in a place where you're freeing yourself from your false beliefs. And the third question is, what is your I am? So what are your thoughts about yourself? What is your state of mind? And what is your I am? And what I mean by that is that you have thoughts about yourself all day long, and it is always preceded by an I am. I am tired, I am sick, I am angry, I am happy, I am joyful. What's your I am? And whatever your I am is the thing that's going to be reflected in your life. And so you become vigilant to really paying attention now, to paying attention to the thoughts that you're thinking. It's not just the words you're using, it's the thoughts that you're thinking. And you commit to doing the work. I always suggest people to buy a copy of A Course in Miracles. It is a mind training. It's an actual course. It takes 1 year. It has a workbook lesson that has 1 workbook lesson a day. And it's an undoing. It's a dismantling of the thought system of fear. And once the fear is gone, the light begins to shine. You feel better. And all sickness that's there begins to dissolve. And I always invite people to experiment with this idea. Don't take me at my word. But start to just really look at this and say, okay, I'm curious about what this woman is saying. You've been to doctors, you've searched all over the internet, you've taken the pills, and now you're ready to try something new. You're ready to look at the thoughts that you think about yourself, and you're willing to move. A miracle is a shift in perception. So you have to move. You can't just think about these ideas. You really have to say, okay, wow, I really don't like myself. And you have a willingness to recognize your location, say, okay, this is where I'm located. And you have a willingness to move out of that location by remembering the truth about yourself. And sickness is not an accident. And these are intentional wands that we wave to make the truth go away. And when you're finally ready to listen to the truth about yourself, the love that you are, the light that you are, and to have those old false beliefs be undone, you will be cured. You will see a change in yourself. And I'm so grateful because I've seen so many things in my life just literally fall away. Many people who know me know my story: alcoholism, cigarette smoking, food addiction, sickness, depression. And it was all through experimentation. I took the ideas in A Course in Miracles and I applied them to my life. That's it. And so I thank you for being here, and I invite you to the great experiment, to allow yourself to really experience yourself as the love of God that you are. Thank you with all my heart. I love you.